Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the Interdisciplinary Studies program at Tennessee State University, and we're fortunate to have with us the director of the Interdisciplinary Studies program at Tennessee State University, Dr. Veronica Duncan. And of course, Dr. Duncan, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
Well, thank you, Dr. Haney. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here.
And to tell you how delighted we are to have you, not only because we anticipate an excellent show with you, but also because we believe that the interdisciplinary program at Tennessee State University is a very, very important program and a very, very important part of the educational offerings at the university. And at the same time, what we'd like to do is to have you to give our audience some information about your background, your education, and some of the things that eventually led you to the directorship of that program, and then we'll talk about other things.
Well, wonderful, Dr. Haney. I think that interdisciplinary studies is extremely important at Tennessee State as well. One of the things that we see happening in the country, across the country, in all types of institutions, is that institutions are recognizing the need to provide students with alternatives to traditional major programs. Not that those programs aren't important, but we have a generation of students who are looking for something that's a little more flexible. And particularly at Tennessee State, we're striving to meet the needs of non-traditional students. The Interdisciplinary Studies program, or as we call it, IDS program, it's a little easier to say. IDS, I like that, is a program that allows students who work full-time during the day to still come back to school and get their undergraduate degree, and a degree which allows them to be marketable. Good. I think one of the misconceptions that some people have about IDS is that it's a degree program for people who just can't cut it in another area, and that's actually incorrect. One of the things that our students understand is that when they come to our office, they're going to get top-of-the-line advising, they're going to get top-of-the-line counsel, and they're going to graduate. Good. Yeah, we do believe in graduating them. So all of those things are important, and we want to make sure we meet the needs of those students. So I know you had asked me about some of my background.
Yeah, okay, very good.
I have my bachelor's, my master's, and my PhD from the University of Kentucky. I'm a Kentucky native, grew up in Russellville, Kentucky, an hour away from here. In fact, I used to come spend my summers in Nashville. My first job was at Opryland when it was a theme park, okay? So I have strong ties to the Nashville community. After teaching or after graduating from the University of Kentucky, I taught at Kentucky State University for a year. Then I went to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, had a joint appointment in communication and African American studies. So my background is really communication, but I've always come from an interdisciplinary perspective. Then I taught at the University of Georgia. Then I took a mommy break. I'm also the mother of 6 children, so ranging in age from 3 to 20. So I have a very well-rounded life, and I'm also a minister of the gospel. So all of those things combined together mean that I can't help but be interdisciplinary in my approach to life in the world. And that's one of the reasons I have a passion for the interdisciplinary studies program and believe so strongly in it.
You know, and looking at that program now what's the general structure when you talk about an interdisciplinary program? Is this program any different from the structure of a historical, I think you mentioned about African history. Is it any different in terms of the structure that you would find in a department or whatever?
It is different, and one of the reasons it's different is because we have the unique opportunity to allow our students to take advantage of the course offerings in all of the traditional majors in the College of Arts and Sciences. So what a student would do is they would identify a discipline, a concentration, and it could be social sciences, natural sciences, humanities, arts and humanities, or natural, social, arts and humanities, those 3. And then within those, they'll pick 2 disciplines that they'll focus on. For example, let's say a student wants to do something with communication, but they don't necessarily want to do communication, and they also want to get some psych background, so they might make their major discipline communication, their secondary discipline psychology. I also encourage students, if they know that they want to go like to law school, pre-law, pre-med, this is a good pre-professional program for students because it gives them an opportunity to get those experiences and at the same time have a broad and more general understanding of the world around them and different disciplines.
In other words, the very fact that they've got a large collection of courses behind them
That's
should
right.
give them a greater opportunity, and when they decide to specialize in a real sense in a profession, to go to law school and et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Well, of course, we've got about 30 seconds before the end of this particular segment, Dr. Duncan, and I really wouldn't want to raise a question before the segment is over.
Right.
But let's have you to reflect on some of the things that you'd like to see in terms of meeting the needs
Of
students that we have. And of course, we'll be able to do that. And we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. We're talking to